management for real estate agents, and other folks will continue to roll in as we get going, but looks like a bunch of you who signed up and made some time to participate and listen in today are here already, so thank you so much for doing that. I think this is a really important topic and something that we have spent more and more time on in the last 6 months to a year, talking about reputation management for our clients, how to help people get more reviews, how to help them get better reviews, and how to use those reviews to get more business. So a little bit about us. Geek Chicago is a digital marketing agency. We just moved offices from one building in Ravenswood to another building in Ravenswood. So we're getting our things unpacked and set up in the new space. But we work with clients all across the country. We work with folks in the political space in Chicago and Cook County. We've worked with polling firms and other government-related agencies on the East Coast in Washington, D.C. and Virginia, all the way out to a company on the West Coast in San Francisco, and some folks down in Florida as well. And we do website design and development. We do inbound content marketing, which is a term that doesn't sound like much of anything to somebody outside of the industry, but it really helps with SEO or search engine optimization. And what we mean by inbound content marketing is we do a lot of our work by writing articles, by writing blog posts for our clients on their websites. It's original content. It has a visual component as well, an image, graphic, photograph. And then we use that content to bolster the search engine optimization on the client's website and drive traffic back to the client's website. For most of our clients, we write more than 100 articles a year. And it's incredible the results it has on the traffic and the business that are generated on their website. Conversation for another time, sort of explaining what that means. Social media management, so we help a lot of our clients with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and some of the other channels as well, Instagram, and reputation management, what we've come to talk about today. My name's Jason Finn. I started the company 6 years ago this month, and for a little bit of credibility in the reputation management and real estate space, I've also sold more than $60 million worth of Chicago real estate over the years. So I know a little bit about the space and about some of the challenges that real estate agents have and some of the obstacles to getting and growing new business. So let's get right into it. So today we're going to talk about how our clients are talking about us online, or in some cases the fact that they're not talking about us online at all. So here's some statistics. 90% of people say that online reviews influence their purchase decisions. That was a recent Dimensional research study. That's crazy. 9 out of 10 people who were surveyed said that online reviews matter to them. 85% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. To me, this is a wilder one to believe until I think about the idea of, somebody tells me, hey, Jason, there's a great new restaurant in River North that you should go check out. Or we stayed at this hotel when we were at Disney with our kids, you should stay there as well. The first thing I do when a friend or a colleague gives me a recommendation for a new restaurant or a hotel or a plumber or anything else is then I go on Yelp or I go on Google or I go on Facebook and I look to see what I can find out and see what the reviews are from strangers, even though friends and people that I trust have told me that I should check out this new restaurant or stay at this hotel. So it's interesting that more and more we're relying on sort of crowdsourcing our recommendations and less than ever before relying just entirely on what friends, family, and colleagues are saying. And in 2017, last year, 90% of consumers read online reviews for local businesses, and 12% of consumers read online reviews every single day. That's from a local consumer review survey, the same as the previous statistic. And that is an amazing statistic as well. So what is reputation management? Reputation management is influencing, and ideally positively influencing, what is said and shared about you and your business online. So why is that important? Well, there's some obvious reasons and some less obvious reasons. The first one, and I think this one may not be as obvious to everyone, is improving your client's experience. So perhaps you have a bad habit of doing something, or you think you do something well, but you're actually missing the mark on it, and your clients are not sharing that feedback with you now, but by encouraging feedback, you start to get the specifics of that. Or maybe you're doing something well, but they want you to do more of something else that you could do well also that would help them and improve their experience. It broadens your brand. So the more reviews you have and the more places you have them, the more opportunities you have to be found by people who are looking for real estate agents. And we do have a couple of people on the webinar today who are not real estate agents, but this is primarily directed at real estate agents. And so for the rest of you, you'll have to pretend like I'm talking about your industry when I do say that. It increases website traffic. So one of the things that we do is we create a dedicated review website, and that has very high search engine optimization. And so when folks are searching for you, that comes up really high, and that can drive traffic back to your website, or it can drive phone calls and contact directly from that dedicated website to you. And so what do all of these things add up to? Of course, more business and increasing revenue, putting more money in your pocket, increasing your bottom line. So reputation management is great for all of these reasons. Simply having a positive reputation in the industry, I think, is value alone. But of course, at the end of the day, we want to grow our business, and this is a crucial way to get more business. So how do we manage the process now? How do we manage our reviews? First of all, the most important thing a real estate agent can do as it comes to growing the future business is asking their current clients for reviews. And as one of my colleagues' fathers used to always say, a closed mouth doesn't get fed. Do your clients know how important it is for you to get reviews? Do they know that you really rely on those reviews to grow your business? So one of the things we suggest is sharing the importance of this early. When you start working with a new client, you could mention to them how important online reviews are to you. I'm going to do a great job. I want to make sure you're happy the whole way through, because at the end of this process, I would love to get a review from you. It's so important for my business that people can see that I'm taking care of my clients. So if anywhere along the way you wish I was doing something differently or doing something better, let me know, because I want to make sure that I earn a 5-star review when we're all done. And another piece of this is you can create a drip email campaign. You could set up emails if your company has a CRM, if you use a newsletter tool, if you use any other kind of tool to communicate, and the solution we're going to talk about a little bit later as well has a built-in drip email campaign. So perhaps you, at some point in the process, and for me, I think the best time for a real estate agent to ask for reviews is not at or immediately after the closing table, but after you've gone under contract. You've demonstrated your value, you've done the hard work. If there was a tough negotiation or a multiple offer situation, you have earned your stripes as a real estate agent, and that's when they're going to be really happy with you. When you get to the closing table, maybe the lender has an issue, maybe the wire doesn't come immediately on time, maybe there was something at the walkthrough that was beyond your control that the buyers discovered, or the buyers were really difficult and you're representing the sellers and they were asked for a credit at the closing table. And often those things are all entirely out of your control, and those things you might get blamed for, even though there was nothing you could have done about it differently. So do we still usher the process through to the very end and make sure our clients are happy? Yes, of course. Can our clients come online later and modify a review if we get a good review and then absolutely punt on the rest of the client service experience? Yes, of course they can. But the best time to get a great review is when your clients are happiest, is when the contract is signed, in my opinion. So we have a process where we send out an email, and if the client clicks on it to write a review, then that's it. We don't send them another email. If they ignore it, if they miss it, it goes into spam, it goes into the promotions folder in Gmail, then the next day we'll send a reminder, and we'll send 3 or as many as 4 reminders, depending on how we set it up. And then finally, you should be sharing a couple of things, but to get more reviews, you should share examples of recent reviews or reviews that you have that you're proud of with your clients. So when you ask them for a review, you can also say, here's a couple of other reviews that have been really, really great for me, or reviews that other clients have written that I really love. And that way they're not starting with a blank slate or a blank piece of paper. They have some idea of what they should be writing, and you've shared with them things other clients have said that you find particularly helpful or useful. Next, you should reply to every single review you get. So, of course, if you get a negative review, this is an important place to write a response. But also when you get a positive review, it's important because it shows you care, and it's also an opportunity to add more information, to tell other people who are looking at reviews more about who you are and what you do. You just closed something with a client who was a first-time buyer. She writes you a nice review, and you say, thanks for your business, Katie, or thanks for the opportunity to work with you on your home purchase, Katie. I love working with first-time home buyers. Well, maybe the next time people who have never bought before look at your reviews, they say, oh, this person really works with a lot of first-time home buyers. They're going to be the sort of person that we need. And so a solution that we have, again, we'll take a look at it in a few minutes, allows you to take all of your reviews from Zillow, from Facebook, from Google, from Yelp, from all the different channels that they might be on, and aggregate them into a single dashboard. And that way you see those reviews come in as they come in, and you can respond right away. And punctuality is very important. People are really time sensitive when it comes to getting a response to a review or seeing that you've seen their review. And handling negative reviews. So be tactful, but not defensive. Not, hey, that didn't have anything to do with me, or hey, maybe if you weren't such a poor communicator, this would have gone easier. But maybe you had an experience where the lender had a process. Maybe in underwriting they discovered something was an issue that wasn't clear early on when they wrote the pre-approval. Or maybe there was a problem with the bank being able to wire the money in a timely fashion. Or maybe they didn't pull your client's credit until later in the process, discovered a blemish on their credit report that they didn't expect, and couldn't underwrite the loan. They're going to blame you. When you ask them for a review, or when they choose to review you, they may say, well, it would have been nice to work with Marianne, but we never were able to purchase a home. We were never able to get the loan, or she didn't help me get my dream home because we had a problem with the lender. So you could say something like, I wish I could control every element of the real estate process. It's unfortunate that your well, maybe you couldn't even say that. You couldn't be too specific as it comes to a loan. But I wish I could control every element of the real estate process. Let's reconnect when you and your lender get things squared away. So maybe the implication is there was a disconnect with a different service provider, but you're not revealing any private information. Another example, they didn't find the home that they wanted because maybe they were unrealistic in their expectations, and they blame you. We had to settle for something because we didn't have enough time, and Frank couldn't find the home that we wanted. It can be a challenge to find a home that meets every aspect of your search criteria. We can be confident that we left no stone, I should say, no stone unturned. And in the end, I think you'll be very happy in your new home. You probably looked at 65 or 70 homes with these clients, and they just couldn't find the thing that they wanted because they were unrealistic about what was in their budget. So find a tactful way to share that you appreciated their business, that you found them something in the end, and that maybe their expectations were not entirely reasonable. So these are the most important steps, I think, 1, 2, 3, for what you can do to get your reputation management stuff going, to get your reviews rolling along in the right direction, and to communicate with the audience who's going to be reading your reviews down the road. So why is it important? We've talked about this a little bit, but when it comes to getting new clients, your reputation is your #1 asset. So there's data across all different industries, and some specific to the real estate industry, and some data that I'm curious about that hasn't been compiled for the real estate industry specifically. But we do know that 25% of home buyers and sellers, that collective pool of buyers and also sellers, find their real estate agent online. They didn't have one. They didn't get one referred from a friend or a family member. They went online. They went to Zillow. They went to Trulia, Realtor.com, a brokerage website, and they found the real estate agent there. Now, this is the most obvious place where reviews can benefit you, because 1 in 4 home buyers or sellers are going to look online, and you want to be the one they find, and you want your reviews to be positive. 62% of home buyers, just a pool of home buyers, base their realtor selection on online reviews. More than half, and almost 2/3 of home buyers, whether they're looking for one and only one, or they're evaluating between multiple real estate agents to represent them in their home purchase, rely on reviews online. This is a Bright Local survey. This next one that goes across multiple industries and online searches. Insurance companies with client reviews get 14 times more queries than with no reviews. You couldn't find that statistic for the real estate industry, but I do know that the more reviews you have, the more places you have your reviews, the more queries, the more traffic comes your way. And improving your ranking on a review site by 1 star could lead to a revenue increase of 5 to 9%, according to a Harvard Business School study. So we've talked a little bit about what you should be doing. We've talked a little bit about the basics of it. Not everybody who's on this webinar today is ready for a service or a third-party assistance with the reviews and testimonials. But I want to reiterate how important it is to follow these steps of asking your clients for reviews, starting early, sharing how important it is to you, using a drip email campaign if you have those tools available to you, and then sharing with your clients recent reviews that you've gotten, for example, on Facebook, and also resharing reviews that you get on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and across social media when you get them. Responding, replying to every single review that comes in, both to address negative feedback and also to provide more opportunity about what you do and show others that you care, and being tactful and not defensive in handling your negative reviews. So what's our process? What's the Geek Chicago process for review, reputation management, and handling reviews? So Geek Chicago can help you break down your reputation management strategy by delivering in 3 steps or 3 parts. The first one is review management, collecting all the reviews you have across the internet now, whether they be on Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com. The Redfin website has them. Some folks have them on TripAdvisor, HomeAdvisor, and other places. The tool that we use is a third-party software platform called Birdeye. It aggregates reviews from hundreds and hundreds of review sites from all across the internet. So what that allows you to do is have them all in one single dashboard, display them all on one standalone website, and also respond to each of them from one place. You don't have to go seek them out every time you have a new review, or discover at one point that you had a review 1.5 years old that you never responded to. Distribution of positive reviews means that we take the reviews that come in and the testimonials that come in and we reshare them. So somebody writes you a positive review on Zillow, it comes through on your dashboard, you respond, thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I love working in the luxury home market. You made it so easy for us to sell your home in 9 days above list price. Adding a little bit of bolstering there, but it's important and it's helpful. Then we can share that the next day automatically. We can share it on Facebook, and then 3 days later, maybe we share it on Twitter, and then next month maybe we share that review on Facebook and Twitter again. And so those positive reviews are being reshared across your social media channels so that other people can find them and see them, see how active you are, and see the positive things people are saying about you. And it's not something you need to worry about remembering because it's a part of this process. And then finally, generating new reviews. Our process allows you to invite clients by email or by text message with a really cool image in that text message that says, hey, we'd love to have you review. Click here to write me a review right away. You could do that at the closing table. You could do that through a series of drip emails starting right after the contract is signed. You can do that when you're out looking at homes and you decide to put in an offer together on something. You can do it from the mobile phone. You can do it from a tablet. You can do it from your desktop computer. And we help our clients to get started with this by uploading lists of recent clients and training them through the process. So here are some examples of sites that we can pull from for your dashboard: Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Facebook, Facebook pages, Google. It's really, really helpful to have your reviews on Google because when people search you, it'll show you on the map and show you reviews. Better Business Bureau, City Search maybe helps. HomeAdvisor might be helpful for real estate agents on this call. So it'll pull from across all of these platforms when they come through. This picture in here is a dashboard of kind of what that looks like. You can see how you can immediately reshare on Facebook, Google+, or Twitter. You can also set this up to be done in an automated fashion. When it's on this dashboard here, you see the green button that says respond and the red button that says park. It will take negative reviews. Hopefully you won't have too many of those. It'll take negative reviews and automatically not reshare those and automatically not share them on the standalone website, but we'll put them in this dashboard here for you to respond to right away. You click on that gray respond button. It takes you to Zillow. It takes you to TripAdvisor. It takes you to Facebook, specifically to that review, and gives you an opportunity to respond in there. And when you have a response, it will show it in this dashboard right underneath. This statistic from SteamFeed is interesting. 78% of people who complain to a brand expect a response within an hour. If you get a negative review on a website that you've not spent any time on or you don't spend much time on, how long does it take you to find it, number one, and then respond to it, the satisfactory answer, number two? How many of you on this webinar have been on Realtor.com in the last 24 hours? 48 hours? In the last week? How about the last month? So that's a big one, right? That's not an obscure site. And I'm willing to bet that most of the people on this webinar have not been on Realtor.com in the last week. Next is this process of distributing reviews, like we talked about, amplifying and distributing reviews across the web. This process allows you to auto-post your best reviews, only your good reviews, to Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, to get your best reviews in front of more potential customers by, number one, spotlighting them on the with a review tab on Facebook. Now, this is a little bit limited. I think you need a couple hundred reviews before, or a couple hundred followers before Facebook will allow you, maybe it's more than that, maybe it's 1,000 followers on Facebook, before it will allow you to put a dedicated new tab or review page on there. But we can help with that process. Increase conversions and conversations on social media. I automatically post a review that I got from some clients. Somebody else comes on my fan page, sees it, and says, oh, I love that person. I love working with Jackie. I'm going to put a comment on this review and start a conversation thread, and then maybe even decide to boost that post and share it with more people. And finally, improve your search engine optimization. That's what SEO stands for. So we create a custom standalone microsite or its own standalone website to get more clicks. It also creates backlinks to your website and your other pages, which improves your SEO, your search engine optimization on those other sites as well. It allows you to rank higher on the Google search pages because of this new page. You'll appear on more local listing and review sites as a result of being on here and pulling them into your dashboard. And it automatically synchronizes up-to-date business information across all your sites. So you add Zillow, you add Realtor.com, you add Yelp, and you realize, oh, my information is out of date on Yelp, and we can trickle that through that information to make sure that your most recent phone number, address, etc., are on that platform. Here's an example on the right-hand side here of a surfing company. This is just an example that I pulled that uses this tool to collect their reviews. And then those same reviews were automatically redistributed on the left. You can see them on Facebook and on Google+ as examples. And then the third step, generating new reviews. So you want to turn your clients into advocates, of course, right? So we help our clients set up a workflow to reach out to their clients via text message or email. This is after the completion of a service, but of course, as I shared, this is something you want to put as a part of your workflow, maybe even right after the contract part of the process. So this says identify if a client will provide positive or negative response. So this is two things. One is, of course, you're going to use your own common sense and determine, is this a client that's going to write me a good review, or is this a client that had maybe unrealistic expectations and blames me for something negative that happened that was out of my control? So you're going to use your own common sense as to whether or not you want to include them on the list or in this process. But the tool itself also has a governor that basically tests to see whether or not they had a good experience before they write a review. I don't want to spend too much time or energy on this because it's changing all the time. This is a tool that Yelp doesn't allow. This is a tool that in the next 2 months, Google's not going to allow. If Google suspects that you're asking a client first whether or not they had a 5-star experience, they're going to say, we don't want that review anymore. We don't want reviews that were filtered before your client wrote them. So that's something we're going to have to do a little bit more intuitively, but for the next couple of months, it works as a part of our process. And the question is whether or not we'll be able to do it on other channels as well. Facebook may decide to follow suit. In the case where we do use this governor, happy customers will be automatically directed to leave a review on the top review sites for your industry. You get to select where you want those reviews and put them into the tool. And then less enthused customers, we said, will be sent to a private feedback area, giving you an opportunity to improve their experience without damaging your reputation. So now if you said, would you write us a 5-star review, or how was your experience, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and they clicked on, let's say, 2 stars, instead of redirecting them to Google or Facebook or Zillow, we would direct them to a form that says, we're sorry to hear you didn't have a great experience. I'll show you an example of that in a moment. In the future, we're probably going to change that governor up to say, if you would like to share your feedback with us privately, click here to do that, as opposed to using this same thing. So here's one example. Would you recommend us? We can customize this for our clients. So one of our clients is a big mortgage lender. We have something that's very much in his voice that sounds like he just sent the email in that moment. And then it says, you know, how many, would you give me a 5-star review? And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. If they click on 4 or 5, they're taken automatically to Facebook. He chose to collect all of his reviews on Facebook. If they say no thank you, or in his case, if they say anything less than 4 stars, then they're redirected to, we apologize, it that you didn't have a great experience. Tell us about your experience, give us your name and email. And then of course, this is input for you. This is, you may learn something you didn't realize about a client being unhappy, and you can reach out to them, you can make it right. You can potentially remedy it if it's something that's not too late, and you can improve your service going forward. You can realize that that was something that's important to your clients that you didn't realize was. And then if they, let's say, selected 5 stars on that request, you can choose whatever buttons you'd like to be on here. So you can do as many as 3 different places to write a review. Our recommendation for real estate agents is that we only have 2 buttons on here. The first one says review us on Zillow, and the second one says review us on Facebook. And the reason is that Zillow does a very good job of generating a lot of traffic. Zillow actually captures 70% of real estate searches online across the country, 70. That means everybody else falls into that 30% bucket. The problem with Zillow for writing reviews is that your clients have to have a Zillow account. And so if you ask them to write a review on Zillow and they go to Zillow and it says, please sign in, and they say, I don't have an account, it says, no problem, please sign up, and they say, forget it, it's not worth it, they can come back and they can click on the Facebook button. And of course, 90% of our clients are going to have a Facebook account. Between Zillow and Facebook, that should probably capture about 99% of our clients. So what is it that Geek Chicago is offering? We will set this up for you. We'll create a consistent online presence by creating a standalone website that collects all your reviews and testimonials. We'll set up the process and the templates of the emails that go out from you that ask how a client's experience was, and that directs them to one or more of the appropriate review sites for you. We'll upload your client database or your list of recent clients or transactions to reach out to the clients that you would like to get reviews from now, and set up that whole process and generate more positive reviews. We'll give you that dashboard that allows you to manage and triage negative reviews and respond right away also to positive reviews. And we will provide training on how to use the platform. So we support our clients pretty extensively through the first few months. Typically getting off the ground, clients might have some questions. Some of them ask one question, they get started. It's a very intuitive process. And they say, no, we've got all our old clients in there. We know how to add new clients. We're all set. And they only reach out to us if they have a question. For other clients, they've uploaded a list. We're monitoring it. They haven't uploaded a new list for a long time. We reach out to them and say, hey, do you have a new list? We'll be happy to upload it for you. So through early next week, through Monday of next week, we're discounting the cost of the service. We traditionally or typically charge $300 a month. And that we have a limitation with our software vendor, Birdeye, that provides all the software platform that empowers this. They don't let us charge any less than what we're charging today, which is $250 a month. That includes our service, our assistance, our training, and the Birdeye platform. So one more statistic to leave you with, and that's not true. I think I have a couple more here. That same Bright Local survey we talked about earlier said that a single negative review can drive away approximately 22% of customers, whereas around 3 negative reviews can drive away 59% of the customers. Almost 60% of your future business can be driven away if you have negative reviews that are not being monitored and not handled properly. 70% of consumers say they'll leave a business review if you ask. Just have to ask. Richard Branson likes to say, all you have in business is your reputation. So I had my daughter and my son both review this. By the way, if you want to sign up today, you can go to geek.fyi/reputation signup. It's right there at the bottom. And you can write that down or go to that site right now if you want to sign up. We'll send out a reminder, just one reminder tomorrow. And